The book is Murderland, and I grew up in the Pacific Northwest in the 1970s, around the time when there were a lot of, serial killers beginning to pop up. And there always had been this question, why are there so many serial killers in the Pacific Northwest? And so that was the question I was really thinking about. And the premise, as it emerged from the research that I did and from some of the facts that I learned about what was happening in the Northwest in this run-up to the 1970s.
The wellness that we feel is so profound that we've just been doing it for over 21 years. So I want to tell you about this one study that was done that I've mentioned before. It was done in 2021 at Stanford School of Medicine, and it was done on fermented food versus high-fiber diets. It has really rocked what scientists thought they knew about foods, and especially fermented foods. What happens was inflammatory proteins decreased in those consuming fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, fermented vegetables, the vegetable brine, or they actually make drinks out of that, kombucha tea, and even fermented cottage cheese was on the list. And those on the high fiber diets were eating fruits and vegetables, legumes, seeds, whole grains, and nuts. But none of those people eating the high fiber had the 19 anti-inflammatory proteins.
బోటాక్స్ కానీ ఫిల్లర్స్ కానీ ఇట్లాంటివి ఎక్కువగా యూజ్ చేస్తుంటారు కదా. బిఫోర్ 30 ఎంతవరకు నేస్తారు?
మీరు చూస్తే ఫిల్లర్స్ గాన్ రాంగ్ అని ఉంటుంది. అంటే మొత్తం ఇలా ప్లంప్ అయిపోయి, లిప్స్ ప్లంప్ అయిపోయి.
ఈ పర్మనెంట్ మేకప్ ప్రభావం ఏమైనా ఉంటుందా?
పర్మనెంట్ మేకప్ నేను చూసినంత వరకు ఐబ్రోస్ ఒకటి చేయించుకుంటారు, లిప్ టింట్ ఒకటి చేయించుకుంటారు. పర్సనలీ నన్ను అడిగితే ఇట్ ఈస్ అ టాటూ. ఇప్పుడు మనం చేతుల మీద టాటూ ఎలా వేయించుకుంటామో అదే సేమ్ పిగ్మెంట్ మన ఐబ్రోస్ మీద పిగ్మెంట్ మీద వాడుతున్నాం.
షుగర్ ఒక స్కిన్ ని ఎంతవరకు ఇంపాక్ట్ చేస్తుంది?
షుగర్ ఇస్ అ బిగ్ నో ఫర్ మీ. కొందరికి నల్లగా ఉంటుంది నెక్. జనరల్లీ
they very much would not want you to see. And this, coming from Politico, who just released a massive report detailing the contents of a leaked Telegram chat that included leaders of young Republican groups across the country. And over the course of 7 months, these leaders, they exchanged some crazy texts. And the chat in question is called Restore YR War Room, and it was created by this guy, Peter Gunta, during his campaign to become chair of the Young Republican National Federation. Also, just something to mention here, because I've seen certain people characterizing the situation in a certain way that it is just not. The Young Republican National Federation is not like a group just for high school kids. This is the GOP's 15,000-member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. And in fact, many of the people included in the chat already held positions within the government or party politics. And that includes one who's actually a state senator. Now, as far as the chat mixed in with formal conversations about social media strategy, logistics, and earning votes were comments from Gunta like, if your pilot is a she and she looks 10 shades darker than someone from Sicily, just end it there. Scream the no-no word. With him also appearing to respond to a question about watching an NBA playoff game with, I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch
guest is a friend of mine, and she is incredible, here to help us get fitter and stronger. I'm speaking about Sanada Greca, a world-renowned thought leader in fitness and wellness. Sanada is the founder of We Rise, a female empowerment platform that takes a holistic approach to health, wellness, and personal development. Sanada is also the founder of Zentoa, a women's athletic apparel brand that has outfitted thousands of women around the world with high performance and stylish activewear. Sanada has been sought after by some of the biggest names in the world. She's trained Miranda Kerr, Bebe Rexha, amongst many others, and currently Sanada works with Kim Kardashian. I'm so excited to welcome to the show my friend and incredible thought leader, Sanada Greca. Sanada, welcome to On Purpose.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
I am so happy to have you. We've been looking forward to this. I remember when I DM'd you a while ago and we got connected. You came.
But also the greatest health span your body is capable of. There are real, tangible, practical methods that we can employ to get the maximum value out of our bodies and therefore our lives. Large populations of people around the world are already achieving amazing longevity results, and we know this from the work of my first guest, Dan Buettner. Dan Buettner is a bit of a longevity superhero. He's a Renaissance man. He's also a National Geographic Fellow and multiple New York Times bestselling author. But he is perhaps best known for his work with the quote-unquote blue zones, which are these communities spread around the world that boast the highest per capita populations of centenarians. Essentially, places where people not only live inordinately long, but also seem to resoundingly be living happier than their fellow Western world counterparts. So in this first clip, Dan's going to offer a primer on how to live a long and fulfilling life.
Bada bing, bada bing.
It's 3 a.m. in South Korea, May 27th of 2023, so literally like a month ago. A taxi driver pulls over to pick up a young girl and her suitcase. He pops open the trunk. He even offers to help her put it into the trunk, but she's like, no, I'm good, don't worry, it's not a big deal, I can do it by myself. She puts it in the trunk, closes it, slides into the back seat, and he glances at her in his rearview mirror. It's kind of late to be going on vacation, and on top of that, her destination isn't even to an airport or a bus terminal or anything like that. It's to the local park near the river. But who is he to judge?
What time was it?
3 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, he was just thankful that it was a pleasant, polite, nice young lady rather than a drunk businessman, which is typically the clientele at 3 a.m. He drives quietly to the park. She directs him where to stop the car, and she pays him. She slides out of the back seat and hauls her own suitcase out.
Got a heart attack out of nowhere, and the only thing was he took the vaccine. And there's many cases like that.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the birth of a 7-month-old. The fact that anyone made you feel bad in the healthcare system, I feel like is a failure on us in the healthcare system, so I'm sorry that happened to you. In healthcare, it's very difficult to predict the future because there are so many unknowns and there's so many variables in healthcare. There are things that are a lot that are outside of our control, and we try to do the best with the limited amounts that we can control. So when we see two things happen simultaneously in healthcare, sometimes we think they have caused one another. But unless we see a pattern of that happening over and over again on a large scale, it's more likely that this is just a coincidence of things happening at the same time. For example, I have a friend of mine who's a physician who vaccinates children very regularly. And they were about to give a child the vaccine. And before giving the vaccine,